Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I recently we rewatched a movie that I'd seen many years ago. It's called Lady in the Water. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I like the early M. Night Shyamalan movies a lot. They were very suspenseful, a little bit eerie. There were moments of fright. Um, I don't know if he's been hanging out with Del Toro, but his movies are way too scary for me now. But I rewatched this movie because I found out that the main character who played Lady in the Water is actually Ron Howard's daughter. And I was like, how did I miss that? Anyway, go back to watch the movie, and there's a character, there's a sea of characters. The movie's all about purpose and living the purpose that you're here for and how people are pulled together. So there's a host of different kind of people, characters who are amazing and have been brought together in this one apartment complex. So there's one character who I'm not giving anything away. This is actually told in the very beginning of the movie. He he only works one side of his body. He is working the muscle in one side of his body, and he's leaves the other one alone. He says he's doing an experiment. He's working one muscle and he's not doing anything with the other. Anyway, so I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and we were talking about how someone had asked me at the last minute to do something, and I said yes. And then my my body health just took a turn, and and I knew that I should not do it. That I really wasn't feeling well. The temperatures were very high, but I also was not feeling well. Now, one of the fears that I've had with having chronic illness is people thinking you won't show up, that you won't do what you say you're going to do. So I've pushed through a whole lot in the last 15 years or so. I've pushed through far too much. And now it's to the point where you have to learn to say no. So I was telling my girlfriend this story. And she goes, why do we do that? Why do we do that? And I said, oh, I know. Because we've been working that one arm. We're like, look at this. I can get you a vein like this. I can get you a muscle that pops like that. You want a muscle that pops like that? This arm, we're not working this muscle at all. That muscle of self care is a muscle that we're not used to. That muscle of saying, I can't do it when you told someone you would. And when I said it, I felt like the shame, like, how dare I? And then I was thinking, disappointed is not a word that people would use to describe you. She just disappoints us. That's not a word. And the reaction that I got was not one that was like initially like really like, don't worry about it. You need to take care of you. It wasn't that. And so I was kind of like, okay, I'll go. And then it was like, well, no, you shouldn't. And I'm thinking, if something happens and I end up really sick because I'm pushing through, then it's going to be, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you do something? And all of that, I'm putting on somebody else. I'm expecting somebody else. Now, for those of you who belong to the Been There, Done That club, keep thinking through and keep listening. Because you know how you say to somebody, and I'm really learning. I'm not talking about resting. I know how to rest. I'm not talking about, self care. I know how to do self care. This is different. This is saying no to something you've said yes to when you're a person of your word. And those people who love to do the been there, done that club, they're like, been there, done that. I don't do that. That's a little rude. Actually, no, it's very rude. When somebody's telling you, letting you in on something that's been difficult for them, to just kind of cut across it with been there, done that is a muscle you should stop working. Anyway, so I'm on the phone with my girlfriend. We're laughing about how this muscle is so small and flat and it hasn't done anything. It is a skimpy muscle. The other muscle we've been overworking, the determined to make it. We're gonna do it anyway, whether or not you think we're gonna show up. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. This and when I saw the movie back then, I was still lifting, and so trying to lift without lifting the other arm, I don't know how anybody can do that because I initially want to do a preacher curl immediately. But anyway, it was the whole thing of realizing that knowing how to say no after you've said yes, when you carry yourself with determination and if I say yes, I'm going to follow through. I do what I say I'm going to do. It, there are situations when grace is required, and we need to give grace to one another. But before we can expect grace from someone else, we have to learn to give grace to ourselves. So, in order to be balanced in life, you can't just work one muscle on one side of your body. You have to work both. Giving and taking. Those reverse curls, the intensity of an inverse. Ooh, it gives you a lot of balance. I love you.